All right, let's talk about something that separates golfers who truly understand the game from those who are just out there hitting a ball around. Course care and maintenance. This is where you show whether you respect the golf course, understand your responsibilities as a player, and care about the experience of everyone who plays after you. Here's the thing most beginners don't realize. Golf courses are incredibly expensive and time-consuming to maintain. That pristine fairway you're playing on, someone spent hours mowing, watering, and caring for it. That perfect green, it requires daily attention from skilled professionals, and every divot you take, every ball mark you leave, every bit of damage you cause affects the quality of the course for everyone who plays after you. Think of it this way. You're essentially a guest in someone's home, a very expensive, very carefully maintained home, and just like you wouldn't leave a mess in someone's house, you shouldn't leave a mess on the golf course. Let's start with divots, those chunks of turf that fly when you hit irons. If you're hitting the ball properly with an iron, you're going to take divots. That's normal, that's expected, and that's perfectly fine. But what you do after taking the divot is what really matters. There are generally two systems for divot repair, and which one you choose depends on what the course provides and prefers. The first system is replacing the divot. If your divot comes out in one piece and is still in reasonably good shape, pick it up, put it back in the hole you created. Step on it gently to make sure it's in contact with the soil underneath. If you do this properly and quickly, the grass can actually survive and the area will heal much faster. The second system is using a sand and seed mixture. Many courses provide bottles of this mixture on golf carts or around tee boxes. You pour this mixture into the divot and spread it around evenly. The sand provides a level surface and the seed will eventually grow into new grass. Here's what you need to know. Use whichever system the course provides and prefers. If you see sand bottles on carts, use those. If there are no sand bottles and your divot is in good shape, replace it. When in doubt, ask in the pro shop or look at what other players are doing. But here's the most important part. You must do one or the other. You cannot just leave divot holes unfilled. I've seen players take huge divots and just walk away, leaving craters in the fairway. This is not just poor etiquette, it's disrespectful to the course and to everyone who plays after you. Now, not every divot needs to be repaired in the same way. Small divots or scuff marks might need sand or replacement. Sometimes just pressing the turf back down with your foot is sufficient, but bigger divots, especially deep ones, definitely need proper repair. Here's something about timing. Repair your divots immediately after taking them, while you can still see exactly where they are and while the turf is still fresh. Don't wait until you're walking off the hole or getting back to your cart. Do it right away. Let's talk about tee box divots specifically because these are a little different. On par 3 tees, where everyone is hitting irons and taking divots in roughly the same area, divot repair is especially important. These areas take a real beating during a busy day and proper repair keeps them playable. On tee boxes, you'll almost always use the sand and seed mixture if it's provided. And here's a tip. Don't just fill your own divot, fill a couple of others too if you see them. It only takes 2 seconds and really helps the course maintenance crew. Now, let's move on to ball marks on the greens, which we touched on earlier, but deserve more detailed discussion here. Every time a ball lands on the green with any significant force, it creates a ball mark or a pitch mark. This is especially true with longer iron shots and approach shots from farther away. The ball compresses the turf and creates a small crater. And if this isn't repaired properly and quickly, it can kill the grass and create a permanent blemish on the green. Here's what most people don't understand about ball mark repair. It's not just about aesthetics. Unrepaired ball marks usually create dead spots on greens that affect putts for weeks or even months. They can also create areas where water pools, where disease can take hold and where putting surfaces become uneven. The proper technique for ball mark repair is crucial because most people do this wrong. You're not trying to lift the grass up. You're trying to push the edges of the mark towards the center. Use a ball mark repair tool, a tee, or even a key. Insert it around the edges of the ball mark and gently push the displaced turf back towards the center. Work your way around the entire mark, always pushing inward. Once you've pushed all the edges towards the center, use your putter to gently tap the area flat. Here's the key, be gentle. I've seen people attack ball marks like they're trying to perform surgery with a jackhammer. When you're working with living grass, an aggressive repair can actually do more damage than good. And here's something that will really impress experienced golfers. Repair ball marks that aren't yours. If you see unrepaired ball marks on the green, fix them. It's considered good form to repair your own ball mark plus 1 or 2 others. Some golfers make it a habit to repair 3 ball marks on every green, their own plus 2 others. Let's talk about bunker maintenance, which we touched on earlier, but it's worth revisiting in the context of overall course care. Raking bunkers isn't just about following the rules, it's about leaving the bunker in playable condition for the next golfer. A properly raked bunker gives everyone a fair chance to play their shot. A bunker full of footprints and unraked sand can turn a reasonable shot into an impossible one. When you're raking, think about what you'd want to find if you were the next person in that bunker. Smooth, even sand with no footprints, no holes, and no rake marks. That's what you should leave behind. Here's something specific about rake placement that causes confusion. Different courses prefer rakes to be left in different places. Some want them in the bunker, usually laid flat against the back edge. Others want them outside the bunker. Look around and see where other rakes are positioned, or ask someone if you're not sure. But regardless of where you leave the rake, make sure it's not going to interfere with play. Don't leave it where someone might hit it with their ball or where it creates an unnatural obstacle. Now, let's talk about general course cleanliness and care, because this extends beyond just repairing the damage you cause. If you see trash on the course, bottles, cans, food wrappers, cigarette butts, pick it up. Even if it's not yours, golf courses spend a lot of money and effort keeping their facilities clean and attractive, and littering shows a complete lack of respect for the course and the people who maintain it. This includes things like broken tees, which you should pick up and throw away rather than leaving scattered around tee boxes. It includes ball wrappers, score pencils, and other debris you might create during your round. Here's something that really bothers course maintenance crews: players who drive carts in areas where they shouldn't. If a sign says cart path only, that means cart path only, not cart path mostly or cart path when it's convenient. Driving carts on wet turf near greens and tees or in environmentally sensitive areas can cause damage that takes months or years to repair. The same goes for walking on areas where you shouldn't be walking. If an area is roped off, if it's marked as ground under repair, if it's clearly being maintained or restored, stay out of it. These restrictions aren't arbitrary. They're there to protect the course and ensure it remains in good condition. Let's talk about respecting wildlife and the natural environment of the golf course. Many courses are home to birds, small animals, and sometimes larger wildlife. Don't feed the animals, don't try to catch them or pet them, and don't disturb their habitats. If you see a bird's nest, a den, or any other wildlife habitat, give it a wide berth. Golf courses often serve as important wildlife corridors, and respecting these areas is part of being a responsible golfer. Here's something about water features on golf courses. Many of these serve important environmental functions beyond just aesthetics and golf strategy. They might be stormwater management systems, wildlife habitats, or wetlands. Don't throw anything into water features, don't try to retrieve balls from sensitive areas, and don't disturb aquatic vegetation. Now, let's talk about equipment care as it relates to course care. Clean your clubs regularly during the round. Most carts have brushes and towels for this purpose. Clean clubs not only perform better, but they also don't track mud and debris around the course. Use ball washers that are provided on tees. These aren't just for your convenience. Clean balls don't leave marks on clubs, carts, or other equipment, and they roll more predictably on greens. Here's something about pace of play that relates to course care. Don't spend excessive time looking for lost balls in areas where you shouldn't be walking anyway. If your ball goes into thick rough, into environmentally sensitive areas, or into areas that are clearly out of bounds, don't spend 10 minutes trampling around looking for it. Take your penalty and move on. Let's address a few specific situations that come up regularly. If you're playing during or after rain, be extra careful about course conditions. Wet turf is much more susceptible to damage from feet and cart tires. If the course asks you to observe cart restrictions or stay on paths, do it. If areas are marked as ground under repair because of wet conditions, respect those markers. If you're playing in windy conditions, be extra careful about your trash and loose items. A candy wrapper or a scorecard that blows away might seem like a minor thing, but it can end up in water features, wildlife areas, or neighboring properties. If you're playing during maintenance activities, maybe the crew is working on a nearby hole or doing course improvements, give them space and don't interfere with their work. These folks are trying to make the course better for everyone, and they deserve your respect and cooperation. Here's the bottom line in course care. It's not just about following the rules, it's about showing respect for the game, the course, and everyone who will play after you. It's about understanding that golf courses are complex, expensive, and fragile environments that require everyone's cooperation to maintain. When you repair divots, fix ball marks, rake bunkers, and generally leave the course in better condition than you found it, you're demonstrating that you understand your responsibilities as a golfer. You're showing that you care about more than just your own game. You care about the experience of everyone who plays the course. This kind of thoughtfulness and respect is what separates golfers who truly get it from those who are just out there for themselves. And in business golf, in social golf, and in any golf setting, this attention to course care will mark you as someone who understands what the game is really about. Master course care and you'll be welcome at any course, because you'll be the kind of player that golf course owners, maintenance crews, and fellow golfers want to see more of.